Ravelli goes up to join the line and they're almost set to go. The starter is on the stand and they're about to break. Racing In Love with Paris amongst the first to get going, and Giraffe to jump well, and likewise Double Digit. Mrs. Brown's Boy one short behind those, just kicking up now from Ravelli, who's handier. And then came Stocks further back, Final Salute, and dropping out last in the early part, Broker. Giraffe led them at the 1200, about a half to three quarters. Mrs. Brown's Boy, who slides around the outside, takes up the running. Giraffe's rider quite happy to oblige there, and eases. And then In Love with Paris running third at the 1000. One short down on the inside fourth, about a length Double Digit, 1.5 to Stocks, being closely attended by Ravelli. Second from last, Final Salute, and whipping them all in, Broker, about 8 lengths off the leader, Mrs. Brown's Boy. Inside the 800 they go. Mrs. Brown's Boy well held in front, leads the way from In Love with Paris, and then Giraffe is getting a sweet trip down on the rail. Then Double Digit fourth, back on the fence to one short. Patiently handled behind them, Ravelli by Lane, and then Stocks, Final Salute, who's going to follow Ravelli to the home corner. And last of all is Broker, 450 left to go, and they're about to set sail for home at the top of the straight. Mrs. Brown's Boy still more than a length In Love with Paris. No run at the moment. Giraffe going easily though, and now Double Digit called upon, followed by one short, winding up little Ravelli. Mrs. Brown's Boy though at the 200, the leader. Double Digit joins it, looking for a run, Giraffe, and now Lane goes to work on Ravelli. Mrs. Brown's Boy, Double Digit, Ravelli running about, then Giraffe, but Double Digit gets the better of Mrs. Brown's Boy. One short coming through late, but it's Double Digit. Double Digit won from either one short or Mrs. Brown's Boy, close up as well in that group. Ravelli, Giraffe behind those, a gap. Broker, Final Salute never got into it. In Love with Paris compounding noticeably and beat one home, and that was the roughie Stocks. Number 11's the winner, Double Digit, ridden by Sean McGruddy. Some backing late, 20s into $16 for Double Digit, and has got the better of Mrs. Brown's Boy. One short driving through in the middle, and Ravelli will be fourth, just unbalanced a little at the 150 metre mark when making her run, but probably coming to the end of it. And it's Double Digit that's got home to score after being beaten a long way in a 2,100 metre race, brought right back to 15 today by Ash Maley, and has been able to bounce back into the winners list. Of course, won here in a 66 benchmark going back in October, and Double Digit dropping down 5 kilos on its last run, back to 1,500 at 17.40, 4.90, getting the job done for Mrs. Brown's Boy. $2.10 and one short third, $4.10, 1 1/4 a long head were margins. The time 1:30.43. They've run home in 35.79 there. So In Love with Paris, the big disappointment, beaten off and dropped right out to finish towards the tail end of that field. Final Salute never got warm either first up. Now the next of the day, the Tab Touch Better Your Bet handicap at 5 after 5 over the 1,800 metres, a field of 14. Mitchell Pateman is the rider for number 5, Sasso's Circus. Well, this has been a very good move by Ash Maley to drop the horse back. And of course, he got the weight relief as well this afternoon, and someone's had something on him at the 20s into 16s right at the death knell, Britt.
Well, I think it might be the man that I'm speaking with, Ash Maley. Were you a little bit confident about this horse? May have had a couple of dollars on yourself?
Yeah, I did have a couple of dollars on myself, yeah. I was pretty confident with his work. And I was really happy that we got a barrier for a change. So I just said, well, we're not going to be running into too many horses that are going to be stopping in front of us. So I was really pleased to get the barrier and get the chocolates. It was really good.
As it turned out in the running, Shooter was following the right horse into the race, but just didn't tow him in. He had to sort of peel out before the corner and make that sustained run from the top of the straight, but it just looked all over once he got in motion.
Yeah, I said to Shooter that he could go a bit earlier because he's been running over bigger distances, so he would sustain his run for a lot longer. And I thought he'd be able to grind his way over the top, which he did, which was really good to see.
Is that what gave you the confidence today, just that he's been building in that fitness and just the added benefit of having an inside draw today?
Yeah, just the barrier was pretty exciting, actually, to get a good barrier. But he's been working really super, so. And he's had no luck. You know, when you get out in the cheap seats, it's pretty hard. You've got to go back.
What about the run of Red Publisher in the Scahill Stakes to finish third against a quality field? That was an enormous performance at a big price.
Yeah, I was pretty pleased with the old fella, actually. Yeah, I was a little bit surprised, actually, probably. But, yeah, no, I was pleased to see him. He's a very, very honest horse. I love the horse to bits. So, no, it was good.
It's a wonderful day. Congratulations, Ash.
Thanks, Britt.
Ash Maley there, the winning trainer with double digit, and he was confident about this horse, Mark. He said it will be winning today, and he was right, didn't let his owners down.
Yeah, won 4 starts ago over the 1,600 metres. I suppose the query was how he was going to come out of those races featuring Bowcount. I know he's beaten a long way in both of those, but they were very, very fast-run races. And here comes Sean McGrady back to scale, finally gets a win aboard this horse. And Alan Kennedy, who rode this horse the last few starts, he was on the runner-up there in Mrs. Brown's Boy.
It's never nice when you're the runner-up and you look beside you and it's the horse that you've been on. But the gate, I think, was the big key here. Sean McGrady, congratulations. You appeared to be following the right horse in the favourite into the race, but it wasn't really giving you the card up into the corner.
No, look, I had to pop out before I wanted, but with no weight on his back, I didn't think it would hurt him, and I thought if he was good enough, he'd win, and he did.
Given the runs that he'd had over longer trips, did you have that confidence that he could make that sustained run without peaking on a run?
Yeah, that was one thing that was in the back of my mind, and he's had tricky gates, so his form was better than it read, but Ash gave me a lot of confidence before the race.
And that's all you needed, because it was a very nice win. Congratulations.
Thanks, Brittany.
Sean McGrady there, combining with Ash Maley, who take out this event here with double digits.